How are you guys doing? Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel. Hope you're all having a great day. In today's video, I want to tell you guys my standing predictions for this upcoming NHL season and give you guys just kind of my overall standings in each division. I was going to separate this into 4 videos. I decided I don't have a lot to talk about because I'm going to be honest, I'm not a hockey analyst here. I just love jerseys and I like watching hockey, so I don't know in depth of every single team. I know the players on the teams, I know how good teams are, but I'm not going into this crazy analytically. I just want to give your guys my quick opinion here. I got some hot takes thrown in here as well. I feel like there's always a couple teams that do better or do worse than people think, so I have a couple of that in here. So if you guys don't agree with my list, please don't hate on me, okay? I'm just having some fun here, just trying to see at the end of the season how close my list can be. And I am throwing in some hot takes, like I said, on purpose. If I did everything top to bottom, 100% what I think, my list would look different. But I decided to throw in some hot takes and mix it up a little bit, just in case it does come true. I want to be one of the people to predict it if it does. I hate just going into it and predicting the most boring, kind of obvious standings, because that's just not fun, and a lot of the times it never ends that way. A lot of times there always are underdogs that make it in or make it further than people think, or do better than people think, or even do worse than people think. So I'm trying to catch those teams, okay? Let's start it off over in the Pacific, because I feel like it's a very interesting topic here over in the Pacific, and we'll start off with number 8. I got the San Jose Sharks. I'm sorry, San Jose, but they're just not a team right now to contend or even attempt to make the playoffs. I think they're definitely going to fall bottom of the Pacific. Pacific's not the strongest division, but I think they're for sure the weakest team. Coming in number 7 is the Anaheim Ducks. I do think Anaheim's going to put up more of a fight than they did last year. I think the whole Pacific division is going to be better than it was last year. I just don't see the Ducks being better than the teams above them. Coming in number 6, my first hot take, I have the Vegas Golden Knights. I think Vegas is not going to do well this year strictly due to goaltending. I think not having a number 1 is going to hurt them quite a bit, though I do still like their team up front and on defense. I just feel like it's just not going to click for them this year. That's one of my hot takes, okay? If you're a Vegas fan, I'm sorry. Coming in number 5 is the Seattle Kraken. I feel like Seattle has upgraded so much and has improved so much that I do think they're going to take a big step forward this year. They're not going to be one of the bottom teams in the league. I think they're going to be fighting for that last wildcard spot, and they actually might get kind of close. Now, the team they're going to be fighting in number 4, I have the LA Kings. I do like LA. LA has gotten better, and I still think LA for sure is a playoff team. That's why I have them over Seattle. I could see Seattle kind of fighting for that spot down towards the end of the season, but I do still think the LA Kings are going to be that team to take it. Coming in at number 3, I have my team, the Vancouver Canucks. I think number 3 is where the Canucks definitely should finish if all goes well this season. Last year, I had them ranked at number 2. Obviously, I didn't think everything was going to go down the way it did. And truthfully, if we had Boudreau the whole season, we probably would have been top 2 in the Pacific anyways, just because of how good the Canucks did once Bruce Boudreau took over. I feel like that's going to work for them this year. I feel like we're going to play well this year, and I hope I didn't just jinx it, but I got us in 3rd. Now, these two are kind of interchangeable, but at number 2, I do have the Calgary Flames. I do just think for some reason things might not click so well in Calgary. I don't mind their team, but I feel like other than their top line, they're kind of lacking a little bit. I do think they have Coleman on their second line, which in my opinion, Coleman is not a second line player. They also have Toffoli on the top line. In my opinion, Toffoli is not a first line forward. He's a second line forward. So they got a third liner playing on the second and a second liner playing on the first. I just think the depth isn't as strong as some teams, and I do think they lost a bit of scoring power as well. I also don't think Kadri is going to play as well as he did last year in Colorado. He's still going to play well, but I just don't think as well. And then coming in number 1, we got the Edmonton Oilers. You just can't count out the 2 best players in the National Hockey League right now. I think this team is good. I think they got better. If Campbell comes in and plays the way he did at the start of the season last year for the Leafs, I think they actually have themselves a legitimate good starting goaltender, which they haven't had in a while. So I'm not an Oilers fan, but it's going to be kind of interesting to see, because once the team's done bad, they always land on the fact they don't have a starting goalie. So now that they do, I'm interested to see how the team does with that. So that's my Pacific Division. Let's head over to the Central. And in last place, kind of obvious, I do have the Chicago Blackhawks. Sorry, Hawks fans, but your team's a mess. Coming in number 7 is the Arizona Coyotes. I do still predict them to do bad, and I think they still want to do bad. They're obviously still rebuilding, so they don't want to take that big jump, and they definitely won't. Coming at number 6, I have the Dallas Stars. This is a very interesting one because Dallas just made that trade to get Nils Lundkvist from the New York Rangers, and they gave away a first for that. I don't know why they did that. I like Lundkvist. I know he's good, but I don't even see the Dallas Stars as a playoff team, judging by this prediction here. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that have them kind of on the cusp of making the playoffs, so it's not even a for sure lock. Coming at number 5, I have the Winnipeg Jets. I do think Winnipeg's going to do better than they did last year. I think they'll be fighting for that wild card spot. I just personally don't see the Winnipeg Jets kind of making it far. They're tough to me because I see the Winnipeg Jets as an in-between team right now. Like, they're not bad, but they're also not super good. They're just kind of like in the middle. Coming at number 4, I have the Minnesota Wild. I know this might be lower than some people have them, but I do still have them making the playoffs. I just have them taking that last wild card spot there. I don't know what it is, but I'm not on the Minnesota Wild hype train. I know there's a lot of people that love Minnesota, think they're the real deal. I just personally don't. Coming at number 3, I have the St. Louis Blues, my second favorite team. I like St. Louis. My worry is Binnington and net and their defense. I do think their offense is going to be able to kind of win them some games. They're going to win some 7-4, 7-5 games. And they're not going to be winning no 2-1 games. So they have the firepower up front, which I think can carry their back end. So we'll see how that goes. Coming at number 2, my bold prediction for this division, and that's the Nashville Predators. I don't know why, but I like this Nashville team. I think if their forwards, Duchesne, everyone, and Johansson play the way they played last season, they have a pretty good forward group, and I think their defense, adding McDonough, is really good. And I also like having Soros back there, one of the better goaltenders in the league. I think all around, they're actually a pretty good team, and I think they're going to be a sleeper team this season. And of course, coming at number 1 is the Colorado Avalanche. Though I think they got weaker this year than they were last year, I still think they're going to head and be top 3 in the league. Top 3, top 5 in the league, I should say. Let's go over to the Metro, you guys. Let's go over to the Eastern Conference. We'll head over to the Metro. And in number 8, I got the Philadelphia Flyers. I'm sorry, Flyers fans, but it's a mess over there. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't have a lot of faith in the Philadelphia Flyers. Coming at number 7 is the New York Islanders. I'm still riding quite low on the New York Islanders. I do think they can bounce back from last season. I just don't know if that's going to happen. I feel like as other teams got better, the New York Islanders kind of just stayed the same, and I think that could hurt them, to be honest. Coming at number 6, it's kind of a bold prediction because I wanted to put them in number 7, but I got the Columbus Blue Jackets. I do think the Blue Jackets do take a step this year, and I think they finish in 6 in this division. I think Johnny Gaudreau and Laine are going to have good seasons. I also think Kent Johnson's going to do really good. And I think their back end, their young players on their defense, is also going to do quite well this season. I think it's going to be a big year for them. And although I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, like some people have them making the playoffs, I don't think that's even going to be close to the case. I don't have them bottom. So I think they're going to be just kind of taking that step a little bit. Coming at number 5, I have the Washington Capitals. I don't know what it is, but I just don't have a lot of faith in this Caps team. I don't know why. Maybe I'm selling short on them, and if I am, I'm sorry. I could be selling short on the Caps. I just don't know why. I just don't really have a lot of faith. Coming at number 4, I have the New Jersey Devils. I do think the New Jersey Devils take a step this year. I don't think they make the playoffs. Note, I don't have a wild card team from this division. I think both wild cards are going to come from the Atlantic. We'll see that when we get there. I don't think the Devils make it, but I do think the Devils are very close. Coming at number 3, first team to make playoffs from the Metro, I have the Pittsburgh Penguins. You just can't count out Sidney Crosby, Malkin, or Letang. That's pretty much all it comes down to. Coming at number 2, we got the Carolina Hurricanes. This team's stacked. It was honestly a toss-up to put them here or put them in number 1, but I decided to put them in second place. I really like them. They don't get Pacioretty right away, which I think is going to kind of knock them down a little bit. I think if they had Pacioretty from the start of the season, they maybe could take number 1. And in number 1, I have the New York Rangers. I love this team. I think this team is so good. There's a lot of people sleeping on this team, but there's a lot of people overhyping it. It's kind of one or the other. I think they're good. I'm on the hype train. Let's quickly knock down the Atlantic here, you guys. I think this one's kind of straightforward. Coming in number 8 is the Montreal Canadiens. Kind of a no-brainer. They're going to be bottom of the league again, in my opinion. Coming in number 7 is the Buffalo Sabres. I think they're going to be kind of close to the bottom of the league, but I do still think they're going to do better than they did last year. I don't think this team's a complete bottom, like 4 of the NHL, but I definitely don't think they're going to be like near the playoffs. Coming in number 6 is the Detroit Red Wings, another team I think is going to take a step from last year. I don't think they're going to be like near the playoff contention, but I don't think they're going to be near the bottom of the league again. I still think they're just going to take that step from last year. Coming in number 5, I have the Boston Bruins. I do think the Boston Bruins make the playoffs as the last wild card team. I just think with the injuries they have, it's going to put them a step behind at the start of the season, and they're going to be playing catch up the whole way. I do still think they finish higher than New Jersey Devils in the Metro, so they take that wild card spot, but I mean, it's going to be close. Number 4, making the playoffs, I have the Ottawa Senators. I'm riding high on this team. I think this team's good. They got young defense that I think can improve over the season. I think they're good. I'm on the Ottawa hype train. Coming in number 3 is the Florida Panthers. Although they got weaker, I still think Florida's offensive group is insane. Their goaltending can be a question mark, but I don't think Bobrovsky's a liability, so I still think they're okay back there. I just think their offense is going to carry them. Coming in number 2 is the Tampa Bay Lightning. This team's just overall still good. They haven't really made much changes from last season. I still like them. Coming in number 1, we have the regular season team, and that's the Toronto Maple Leafs. They play well in the regular season. We'll just have to see what happens when they make the playoffs. Thank you guys so much for watching. That is my predictions for every single division this upcoming season. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. It's okay to disagree with me, but please just don't read me out, okay? I'm just having fun here, trying to make some bold predictions. I pretty much made one bold prediction every single division, which I think is going to be fun to see how that plays out. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you guys are new. Like the video if you enjoyed. I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.